y'all are doing well, safe, happy at home. And here we're going to do the Chandra Namaskar or the moon salutation. So if you have trouble being on your knees, you'll want to have a blanket or even a little pillow around. And just as always, bear with me. I may have to do a couple of modifications that you might not have to do, just because, once again, I'm sure you all know, but I'm just working with broken femur, just trying to do the best I can. So we'll go ahead, and I just like to bring in the thought, in this new normal, right, allowing yourself to think about what you wish to carry with you when things, quote, start going back to normal again. If there's anything that has been a pattern for a while that, for lack of a better word, doesn't serve you anymore, just allow yourself to think about how you might delete some of these patterns from your life. But also remembering, as we delete something, it's always good to add. So, if you delete a couple of glasses of wine a week or a couple of glasses of coffee or a little bit of sugar, allowing yourself to add kombucha, green tea, and, something like that. So you want to make sure as you delete, you also add so you don't leave the body feeling like it is needing or craving or anything like that. So Chandra Namaskar, moon salutation, going ahead and warming up here. So let's go ahead and start in child's pose. And child's pose for me right now is kneeling. So you can also take that position if you would like, but toes touching, knees wide, trying to get your hips to touch your heels. Grounding your third eye space here, and just thinking about and drawing yourself to tune in and tuning into your practice right here, right now, in this space, this time in your yoga practice. So there's nowhere else to be, nothing else to do. Once again, yoga asks us to just be right here, right now, the power of now. Period. So tap into your breath, your inhale to your exhale. If there's the ability to start to allow yourself to draw in the breath a little bit longer and slower, please start to do that now. Inhaling, filling your stomach, your lungs. Imagine it coming up all the way to the throat. And then exhale, let it go. Let all the breath empty out through the lungs, through the belly, let it fully and completely go. Inhale, filling to maximum capacity. As you exhale, starting to let go more, and more. So if you have the Ujjayi breath, the ocean sound, the victorious breath, allow yourself to start to draw that in. Inhale, nice and long and slow and deep. As you exhale, allowing yourself to let go, let go, let go, using our yoga practices to process anything that we're going through, past, present, future, all while staying right here, right now, and trying to draw out of any obsessive mind, obsessive thought, allowing yourself to just kind of feel, see what comes up, and then immediately start to let it go as soon as it starts to come up, right? So in yoga, we don't have to draw into any talk therapy. We can just use our body and our breath to process what has gotten stuck within our mind and even possibly the body. So once you're ready, coming from child's pose to your table pose. So in table pose, if you have any stress around your wrists lately at all, working with carpal tunnel, you're more than welcome to come down onto your forearms. That's just my preference today. Remember, we're all willing to just do different things. We can all have our preferences in yoga. So thinking about starting to draw into spinal flexion. As you inhale or exhale, however you were taught, rising the spine up. Inhale or exhale, starting to lower the belly. Inhale or exhale, starting to rise the spine. Inhale or exhale, starting to lower the belly. Few more rounds here, just with your own breath rise and with your own breath fall. And now yogi's choice, pulling into either child's pose or downward facing dog, taking a couple of breaths. And coming forward to either table or your plank pose. And please at this time come to drop your knee. So as you may know how I teach, you can either keep threading with your breath. Inhale, right arm rises. Exhale, thread the right arm down underneath the left. Inhale, right arm rises. You can keep flowing this, threading the needle, or come down onto your right ear and then just allow yourself to hold and breathe. And coming back to center, this time walking the right hand forward of the shoulder. Inhale, left arm rises up. Exhale, thread the needle underneath the right arm. Keep flowing with your own breath. Inhale, left arm rises. Exhale, left arm falls, threads underneath the right, or come to plant your left ear. Hold and breathe. Inhale, coming to center, and then yogi's choice. I'm going to add dolphin too, so you can either pull back child's pose, come down onto your forearms for a forearm down dog, which is known as dolphin, or you can come to regular downward facing dog. Find yourself holding for just a couple of breaths. And with your next exhale, coming to table pose or dropping your knees. You can cross your ankles, roll back to comfortable seated, or you're more than welcome to stay kneeling. So I'm going to turn towards you. And just before we keep moving on with our physical asana, coming to what's known in Kundalini Yoga as the ego eradicator. So what we're actually going to do is bring our four fingers to where the palm and the bottoms of the fingers meet, and then your thumb is out at a 90-degree angle from the palm. Then you bring your arms up into 60 degrees. And exhale all the breath out, and then begin breath of fire. And let it go. Inhale, thumb tips touch overhead. Hold the breath in. Engage the Mula Bandha, pelvic floor up and into the lower belly. Release all 8 fingers. Exhale, fingertips down by your sides. Take your left ear to your left shoulder, and then take your right ear to your right shoulder, and then second round. 4 fingers to the base of the fingers where the top of the palm starts, and thumbs out at a 90-degree angle. Arms rise up from the shoulders, 60 degrees. Relax shoulders, exhale. And then with your inhale, begin your gut pump, breath of fire. Exhale on your inhale, draw your thumb tips to touch up and overhead. Let the 8 fingers go, and then exhale, allow yourself to slowly bring the arms down to the floor. Release, relax the breath out. If you'd like to, again, drawing one ear to the shoulder, other ear to the shoulder. So just doing 3 rounds, and then we'll move on to our asana, physical practice, poses, asana equaling poses. So thinking about 4 fingers to touch the top of the palm, and thumbs out at 90 degrees, arms rest at 60 degrees from the shoulders. Exhale the breath out, 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 and then begin breath of fire. Inhale, thumb tips touch overhead, palm Mula Bandha if you wish, pelvic floor up and into your lower belly. Release all 8 fingers. Exhale, 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 fingertips to the floor. All right, so letting that fully go. And as you are ready, finding either dolphin pose or downward facing dog. So once again, totally up to you, forearms or your palms, whatever time of day it is, this morning, afternoon, evening. And then begin scorpion dog flow. Right leg rises, inhale, exhale, right leg falls. Inhale, left leg rises, not in my practice right now. Exhale, left leg falls. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, right leg falls. Inhale, left leg rises. Stack your hip. Exhale, left leg falls. One more time, each leg. And from dolphin or downward facing dog, walk your toes back so you come to plank asana on your forearms. So drawing down to forearm plank on your elbows. If you would like to, you can start to dip your hips to either side. If not, you're holding. Optional addition of breath of fire. And lower your hips down to your mat space, finding Sphinx Asana, right? So allowing yourself forearms, elbows to the floor. Those of us that wish to go deeper can tuck the toes and pike the hips up off of the floor, and then draw the hips back down and start to look up. Those of us can just also start a spinal flex. Exhale, chin to your chest, engagement of the core up and into the spine, and then inhale, rise and lift, look up. Exhale, chin to your chest. Inhale, inhale, rise and lift. Exhale, exhale, exhale. All right, we're going to get deep into the hips with our flow. So let's take the time to get deep into our shoulders. Thread the right arm underneath the left, and then just crawl those left fingertips over to the right side. Allow the chin to rest on that left upper arm. If you'd like a little bit more, come to hug the hands behind the back body. If you'd like to tic-tac the lower legs back and forth, you can bend at your knees and then also allow the legs to move from side to side. 3 to 4 slow breaths. And then let's go ahead and switch, allowing your right arm out to make room for the left arm underneath. Crawl the right fingertips over to the left side. Chin rests on the right upper arm. Feel free to hug behind your back body. And then once again, breathe. And exhale, release. So once again, you can go through your forearm plank pikes or just tuck your toes, holding forearm plank pose. You can choose those hip dips or once again, optional breath of fire. And exhale, lower your way down. So you can come back to your Sphinx pose and start to spinal flex or lower chest, neck, and shin down to the floor. Hands aligned by your side ribs, shoulders back and down. Feet are 6 feet or inches apart, or feet can be completely together. On your inhale, using your back strength only, lift your way up into your cobra pose. Thinking about looking forward, at least your chin parallel to the floor, maybe starting to look up. Fire up the kidneys, right? So if you're in a fear point, a lot of moving into fear, allow yourself to really get into this pose, even if it feels just a little bit hard. And then exhale, exhale, lower your way back down. So third round here, coming to your forearm plank. You can either start those hip dips again or just tuck the toes and hold. And then allow yourself maybe third round, a breath of fire. Exhale, lowering your hips down. You're more than welcome to come to your Sphinx spinal flexion if you wish. Or now from here, actually allow yourself to make half of a star, right? So throat open, chin on your mat space. And feet 6 inches apart, or they can be fully together. 6 inches is really good for tense lower backs. So now from here, lift your way up. And you're tenting on your fingertips as you feel ready with the back body. In the plane of the shoulders, you walk the arms in a little bit, and bending your elbows will make this a little bit harder, right? A little bit more complete into the pose. So you start to actually work chaturanga in a different way as you draw your arms, hands closer to the body. Elbows are bent, keeping the pelvis on the floor, shoulders back and down, and then you rise up into cobra. So just noting here, whether you like baby cobra, or if you're already feeling that you know that you're ready to go on to up dog as we come to our chaturanga dandasana flows. Remember, you can always utilize knees, chest, and chin. And then my new addition, right, is pumping plank to down dog with breath of fire. That'll be option number 3. Exhale, lower your way down. Press back to child's pose. You can always take a nice rest here, or now come to the middle of your mat space on your knees. So as you come to the middle of your mat space on your knees, you stay the lengthwise here. I'm going to turn towards you. So inhale, arms rise up and overhead. Interlace the last 3 fingers, cross the thumbs, and as we normally do standing, just allow yourself to pulse from side to side. So remembering, this is a squeeze and a flush of our liver, gallbladder, pancreas, and spleen. Even if you get sick of me saying that, right, I just like to remind you, because then by way of other things, we're working with letting go of frustration, obsessive thought, right, sugar imbalance, anxiety. Exhale, center, lower it down. At this time, bring your hands to your lower back body, nice and supported. Pull your chin in and then drop your head back 45. If you would like to bring your hands at Namaskar in front of your heart because you trust your supported camel back bend, go right ahead. Keep looking up. 45 degrees for 3, 2, 1. And then if you'd like to be kneeling, go right ahead. Inhale, arms rise up and overhead. And then allow yourself to bend your elbows. Thumb tips, whether kneeling or on your knees, come to about C7 or so, where the neck meets the plane of the shoulders. Keep hugging your arms towards your ears. And then we'll go ahead and do one more dolphin pose. You can either have interlaced fingers or hands separated as wide as your elbows and shoulders to notice if a headstand or possibly a forearm stand will be available to you in your practice this morning, afternoon, evening. And for me it won't be, but for you, just in case you get that little direction to go there, starting to fire it up. I'm going to stay right here, but in dolphin pose, you can notice, you can start to work on the back bend like me, lifting your tailbone a little bit. You can also start to walk your feet towards your elbows. Exhale, dropping to your knees, coming up to your palms, tucking your toes, lifting your hips, downward facing dog. First Uttanasana, forward fold. Please go ahead and walk your hands back towards your feet. If you'd like to, peace fingers around the big toes, pulling yourself a little bit closer, down, stomach towards your thighs. You can hang the head or find the gaze down towards the floor, protecting back of the neck space. I'll leave it up to you. And then rolling all the way up to stand, shoulders back and down. Fidget, allow yourself to make those adjustments through the clothing, through the hair. And you can step towards the middle of your mat space like me. And chair pose, I got reminded, we forget, and then we remember, and then we forget, and then we remember. Utkatasana, chair pose, is also known as fierce pose. So we're going to warm up into our moon salutation using a couple of our familiar warm-ups. So as you're ready, exhale, sit into your chair pose. Inhale, standing baby cobra. Exhale, pulse, pulse, chair pose. Inhale, rise, standing baby cobra. Exhale, lowering your way down. Inhale, rise and lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. As you exhale, lower into your fierce pose. And so as you come to this pose, right, If you'd like to make it a little bit harder, allow yourself to come up into a toe stand chair pose and then just hold. If you want to at any time, please feel free to add breath of fire to your practice. This will pump the lungs. It really helps the pandemic, what we're going through right now, keeping those lungs healthy as best you can. They know that they're breathing, and then they'll be able to take in more and more air the more you practice breath. So lower your heels down if you need to, and then come back to standing. So Namaskar twisting. I can't quite get my feet together, but I do find this pose easier with feet fully together. As you inhale, rise, mini or full back bend. Exhale, bend your knees, left elbow outside your right knee. Inhale, come to rise center, mini full back bend. Exhale, right elbow outside your left knee. Inhale, come center, stretch front body. Exhale, twist. Inhale, rise. Exhale, twist, twist, twist. Inhale, lift. One more time to the right. Exhale. Inhale, center, back bend. Exhale, last time to the left. Inhale, come center. Exhale, arms swoop back and down. And then fierce pose, chair pose. Utkatasana, option to come up onto your toes. And then press to stand. All right, so as you come and press into stand, we'll now begin our Chandra Namaskar, or our moon salutation. So thinking about allowing yourself come to the front of your mat space. A little geriatric, right? So I'm going to use a little wood prop in front of me. Also the banister at times to step forward and back. So always warming up our salutation. So 4 rounds. Inhale, rise arms up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, fold. Inhale, lift all the way up. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, rise, halfway. Exhale, fold. Last one, inhale, lift it all the way up. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, rise all the way straight. Exhale, fall to the floor. Inhale, rise it all the way up. Exhale, eagle pose, Gariyasana. Right arm underneath the left and around. Bend through your knees. So as you bend through your knees, I'll turn towards you. Right leg up over the left and around. So here you can touch toes like me, or you can find the full wrap. As you exhale, and draw elbows to your knees. As you inhale, rise back up. Exhale, lower down 2. Inhale, rise and lift 2. Exhale, 3. Inhale, rise and lift 3. Arms up, palms touch. Exhale, left arm underneath the right and around. Please bend into your knees. Left leg will lift up over the right, not in my practice right now. As you exhale, next elbow to knee. Inhale, rise, lift it up. Exhale, lower 2. Inhale, rise and lift 2. Exhale, lower 3. Inhale, rise and lift 3. Sit a little bit lower. Exhale, unwind, undo, and then arms come down by your sides. All right, first round. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, rise, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Left leg steps it back, knee draws down. As your knee draws down, bring your hands to your right knee and maybe pulse a little bit into that front knee. As you're ready, inhale, arms rise up, crescent lunge pose. So here, a couple breaths, long, slow, deep breathing, or begin to pump, breath of fire. Go a little bit deeper if you can in the hips, and then hands come to the floor. So here now come to your hamstring stretch, or mosey all the way back onto that left heel, and then begin your half fold, also what's known as half splits. So from here, long, slow, deep breathing, maybe find out about your neck or begin to pump, breath of fire. As you're ready, mindfully come back forward. Inhale, rise back up into your crescent lunge, 90 degrees, which is what is available to me right now, or you can start to move lower in your hips. Right hand comes down to your hip. You can also use a block or the floor, and then reach the left fingertips over to the right side. Long, slow, deep breathing. You can also move your way in to breath of fire. Inhale, rise and lift, left fingertips to the hip, to a block or to the floor, and then allow yourself long, slow, deep breathing or breath of fire. So this should be in the plane of your hips and your shoulders, i.e. you do not see my left arm, right? So thinking about you're allowing yourself to drop there, not here, right? We don't want the pose to look like that. Instead, just thinking about keeping everything aligned, tall, nice, heart opening. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to add something that's not in the original moon salutation. So left hand comes to the floor, your right toes tuck. This is just a good one to squeegee out the spine, really twist everything around the spine. If you'd like to, keep the right hand on the knee or rise it up towards the sky. You can also half bind to your lower back body and then just allow yourself to keep spiraling everything around the spine. You can start to hear the stretch in the breath of not only me, but your other yoga teachers. Hold for 3, 2, and then release. So from here, allowing yourself to step back, knees, chest, and chin, Chaturanga Dandasana full if you wish, or you can pump plank pose to breath of fire. Step, hop, or float up towards the front of your mat space. Exhale, and as you're ready, rise and lift, and then find Tadasana, mountain pose. Are you grounded through the feet in this moment? Before our other side, 4 points of the feet, underneath the big toe, pinky toe, either side of the heel. So to find that place, I rise all 10 toes. And remember, as you're on carpet, it's a little bit harder. Actually, I remember in the beginning, I didn't like where I trained just for the first couple of days because we had to do everything on carpet, and it really tests the balance quite a bit more. Then I began to fall in love with it, and it really did make my balance stronger as a student. All right, so second side. As you inhale, arms rise up and overhead. Exhale, tracing the front line of the spine all the way. Inhale, rise, halfway lift. Exhale, folds. Fold, right leg steps back, knee comes down to the floor. If you'd like to pause equestrian pose, go right ahead, hands to your left knee, and see if you can go maybe a little lower in the hips. At this time, 90 degrees is what I have. Inhale, arms rise up and overhead. Crescent lunge, you can start to find that nice C curve all the way from the right toes to your fingertips, or just keep reaching. Heart can still open forward, right? Long, slow, deep breathing, or breath of fire. All right, so hamstring stretch or forward fold half. All right, so thinking about if you stay in that hamstring stretch. If you know Devin Wright, she's really great at teaching this with a nice flat spine. Keeping looking forward, 1.1 Dristy point. Allow yourself just to hold and breathe. And coming back to your crescent lunge. Arms rise up and overhead, and then left hand to the hip, block or floor. Reach the right fingertips over to the left side. Breath of fire or long, slow, deep breathing. And switch sides, right hand to the right, hip block or floor, left arm up and over. Find your long, slow, deep breathing or your breath of fire. Exhale, left hand to left knee, right hand to the floor. Right toes come to tuck. And then from here, allowing yourself to find your twist. Either left hand stays to the left knee, or you can rise that left arm up to find your twist. Maybe bring the hand to the sacrum, back of the hand, maybe palm of the hand. Keep twisting around. And hands to the floor, step back, downward facing dog. Either 2 rounds through knees, chest, and chin. Chaturanga Dandasana full, or if you'd like to, pump plank to downward facing dog. Remember too, you can always rest in child's pose or your downward facing dog. Step jumper, float up towards the top of your mat space. Exhale your fold, and then round or reverse swan dive all the way up to stand. All right, so now from here I'll go ahead and turn towards you. So there's a few people that I have in normal classes, right, that will on the next round, please, unless you want to do both of them, you can take this into toe stand. You can also take this into an arm balance. So we have 3 more rounds of flow. So maybe get into your hips this round, maybe go into toe stand, arm balance. I'll leave it up to you. I'm going to need a little bit of support here, so we're going to bend through our knees, and then our right ankle is going to come to the top of the left knee, lower left thigh, and hands come to center. So if you really want to get into the glutes and the hip, you can just start to pulse this, right? For some of us, this is balance challenge enough. Other things we can do eventually are bring our right elbow to the right arch of the foot to get it a little bit more twisty, or just allow our ego to stay exactly where you're at. So in my yoga practice right now, I'm learning a lot of where I need to stay, i.e. boundaries, as well as imperfections. So I used to have a really deep crescent lunge, and now with what's going on, all I can do is those 90-degree angles. So we have to learn not to judge and just stay in the practice of now. So from here, rise your way up. Gonna need to be on the banister for this one. Allow yourself to bend through the knee. The left ankle comes to the top of the right knee, and then your hands come to your heart center. I'm gonna come out, you stay. If you would like to, just start to pulse. Once again, your left elbow can come to the left arch of the foot, but just hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. So let's go ahead and make that an intention as well. Boundaries and imperfections. So top of the mat space and second round of moon salutation. Inhale, arms rise up and overhead. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale as you fold, left leg steps its way back. Knee comes down, arms rise. 4, 3, 2, 1. Release hands to the floor, and then coming back into your hamstring stretch, half fold, or some of us can start to move out towards Hanumanasana or our splits. 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back forward. Inhale, rise our arms up, and then right hand to the right hip block or the floor, moving your way over for 4, 3, 2. Inhale, rise, left hand to the left hip block or the floor. Reach those right fingertips up and over. Keep reaching. 2, 1, and now release. Right hand to the right knee, left hand to the floor, left toes tuck, and then find your twist. And right hand comes to the mat space. Go ahead and step back. Regular 3-legged chaturanga, knees, chest, and chin. Maybe plank to downward facing dog, or just rest, downward facing dog, and child's pose. So the breath is imperfect, mind can be imperfect, body can be imperfect. So just keep remembering when you feel good in practice too, what makes your heart sing just a little bit. After you finish in downward facing dog, step, jump, or hop up in between your hands. Inhale, rise and lift all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart center. So we go slow, fast, fastest, slowest. So we're on the fast round. Inhale, arms rise up and overhead. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, fold. Right leg steps back. Knee drops down. Inhale, rise your way up. Crescent lunge. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, hands to the floor. And then either hamstring stretch, half fold, maybe making your way to splits with blocks. Make sure you're supported, but it's fast. So 1, and then release. Back into your front knee. Arms come to rise up. Left hand comes to your left hip. Reach your right fingertips over. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, rise, fingertips touch. Exhale, right hand to the right hip. Move it over for 3, 2, 1. Release. Left hand to the left knee, right hand to the floor. Right toes come to tuck. That'll be the last time I'll be able to do this. And then allow yourself to just start your twist up and over. Holding there for 4, 3, 2. And then as you're ready, step your way back. 3-legged chaturanga, regular knees, chest and chin, or find your rest. Child's pose or downward facing dog. Let's go ahead and take our rest for about a count of 4 breaths. And exhale. Next, look forward. Step, jump, or hop up towards the front of your mat space. So from here, allowing yourself to roll a reverse swan dive all the way up to stand. All right, so chair number 4. Remember, this time you can take it into the twist, toe stand, or your possible arm balance. So it's my strong side, allowing yourself to bend into your knees. And then right ankle comes to cross to your left knee. Hands come to your heart space. And then either stay here or take it into any pose of your choice. Very slowly, if you went somewhere else, coming out the way that you went in, right leg draws its way down, and then thinking about switching sides, left ankle to the back of the right knee, top of a number 4, and then allow yourself just to find your twist, maybe your toe stand, maybe your arm balance. I'll breathe and count. All right, if you went deeper, coming out the way that you went in, and then everybody coming back to meet top of the mat space. So thinking about this is our fastest round. So thinking about we're also practicing non-attachment. So inhale, arms rise up and overhead. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, fold. Left leg steps back, knee drops down. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands come to the floor. Hamstring stretch, half fold. Inhale, come back forward. Arms rise, right hand down to the hip, block or the floor. Inhale, fingertips touch. Exhale, left hand to the left hip, block or floor. Inhale, rise, lift it up, and then come to your twist. Left hand down, left toes tuck, right hand stays to the right knee, or you might start to lift it up a little bit more. You can start going deeper if you wish into more binding, anything you want, but we already are bringing right hand down. Step your way back, optional chaturanga, child's pose, downward facing dog, 1 or 2 rounds. remember to rest before you give up. So I'm going to be cueing the right side, but I'm going to have to do it on the left again for myself, just so people that don't know me have a visual, but you will be taking your right leg back, even though you'll see me do differently. All right, as you're ready, bend through your knees, step, jump, or hop up and back to the front of your mat space. Inhale, rise, arms come up, exhale, forward bend. Inhale, rise, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Right leg steps its way back. Right knee comes down. Inhale, rise your way up into crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to the floor. Back to your hamstring stretch. Half folds, maybe splits, but we're already out of it. Inhale, rise it up. Exhale, left hand to the left hip, block or the floor, draw it over. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, right hand to the right hip, draw it over. So bring your right hand to the floor, right toes tuck, finding your twist. Exhale, left hand to the floor. Allow yourself to step back into child's pose, chaturanga, downward facing dog. Make it the right pose for you. Always remember, you have freedom, you have preference, you have choice. Alright, step, jump, or walk up, float maybe to the top of your mat space. Come all the way back to stand, and then allowing yourself coming in to top of number 4, chair pose, fierce pose. Once again, so reminding ourselves to stay fierce and strong during the storm that we might feel like we are in. So from here, right ankle comes to the left knee. I'm just going to count that for you, right? So you're going to allow yourself here to come into maybe your twist. Maybe just hold the balance. Toe stand is an option, as well as your arm balance. And I wish I was watching all of you guys laughing as you fall, right? Always remember, falling isn't failing. And then also, when we hold it, how empowering is that when we hold those fancier poses sometimes for the whole time? All right, so coming down and out the way that you went in, first side. See if you can bring it all the way back up to stand to the top. And then going to the other side, bending into your knees and allowing your left ankle to come back of that right kneecap, top of a number 4. Hands can come to your heart center and stay. Maybe you bring your left elbow towards the left arch of the foot. Maybe you allow yourself to come down into toe stand or your arm balance. Alright, sometimes all we need is a little time, a little space, coming out the way that you went in, all the way back up to the top. And then we're to our 4th and final, slowest round of moon salutation. So it's a little bit closer to the floor. I haven't actually checked lately, but always remembering your moon salutation is a practice you want to do around the full moon. It keeps us more grounded, closer to the floor, oftentimes, right, as we can feel that chaos of the full moon. So thinking about 4th and final round, as you inhale, arms rise up and overhead. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, rise, halfway lift. As you exhale, fold. Left leg steps its way back, knee grounds down to the floor. Inhale, rise. So for some of us, we're going really deep right into our back bend, remembering that the core of the body is all the way from the soles of the feet to the root of the tongue. So not only are you feeling the stretching over your quote core, but some of us are feeling that beautiful C curve back bend all the way from the left toes to the fingertips. Notice your rib cage. Keep lifting your rib cage forward and up. Maybe your gaze forward, up and back. Hold. And then exhale. Hands come to the floor. As your hands come to the floor, allowing yourself hamstring stretch. Maybe forward fold, working your way into your splits. All right, coming out mindfully. Once you're ready, inhale, rise and lift. Arms come up. Right hand to the hip, block or the floor, finding your stretch. Deeper. Once again, remember it's in the plane of your shoulders, in the plane of your hips. Slower you go, the more you feel, right? That's why it gets into our fight and our flight response. So early on in my yoga career, right, I noticed that if I held things way too long, I actually lost students. So over time, it's actually a compliment to your practice. The more you can hold things for longer and just be and stay with yourself. Inhale, fingertips rise, touch. Exhale, let's left side bend. Remember here, I've stopped cueing it, didn't mean to, but if at any time you want to keep pulsing breath of fire, go right ahead. If you need that more grounding breath, maybe you're moving from a 4-second inhale and exhale to a 6-second inhale and exhale. One thing you can do for yourself during this time is allow yourself to try to move towards a 20-count inhale and a 20-count exhale during your pranayama breath practices. Inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, hands come to the floor. Coming to your twist, tucking those back left toes coming off the left knee. I'm not going to, but allow yourself to find that twist. A little bit more juice, and then exhale, hands lower. I am going to rest, but now you're more than welcome to step back. Chaturanga Dandasana, knees, chest, and chin. Breath of fire, plank to downward facing dog, or maybe rest child's pose. Maybe kneeling, maybe downward facing dog. And as you're ready, bend your knees, step, jump, or hop up, float maybe even towards the top of your mat space, and then finding your way to standing. Mountain pose, Tadasana, Samastitihi, if the toes are touching, feet are touching. All right, last and final slow round. As we inhale, arms rise up and overhead. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, fold, knees knees bend as your right leg steps back, and then the knee comes to drop down. Inhale, rise into your crescent lunge. Go a little bit deeper into your back bend if you can. Feel your ribs to draw the ribs forward and up. Maybe the gaze further back. Exhale, hands come down, and then find your hamstring stretch. Fold, maybe move your way on towards your splits. And then allowing yourself to come back into your crescent lunge pose. Left hand to the left hip, right fingertips stretch over towards the left side. And right hand to your right hip, and left fingertips stretch towards the right side. As you're ready, right hand comes down to the floor. Right toes come to tuck, and then find your twist. And hands to the floor. As you're ready, step back and then either float or find your rest. All right, from here I'm going to leave it up to yogi's choice. So if you'd like regular half pigeon, and if you feel like you need more heat, you can do some core planks before going there. So if you'd like pigeon pose half on your belly, inhale, right leg rises, either option of core plank or just bringing the right knee towards the right upper arm, sliding it down towards the right wrist and setting your parasympathetic pose. For those of us that need a variation for any reason, lower back, femur, all that type of stuff coming onto your back body already, and then finding top of a number 4 as you cross the right ankle to your left knee, and then start to draw this in towards your chest. Bind, if you wish, behind your left thigh, front of your left shin. Maybe one more breath. On your inhale, coming out of that side, whether you're on your back or your belly, downward facing dog. Possibly add a chaturanga if you wish, or left leg rises. If you feel like you need more heat, maybe round through core plank, or left knee towards your left upper arm, sliding it all the way down to your wrist to set your other side of half pigeon. Those of us on our back, crossing the left ankle to the right knee, and then drawing both legs in towards the belly heart space. You can either just leave your arms down by your sides, breathing into the outer left hip, or feel free to bind behind your right thigh, front of your right shin. Alright, allowing yourself to release. So coming out the way that you went in, if you're on your belly, final chaturanga. And I was going to put in there, right, we have some wild childs at the studio, so if you would like to move your way into a forearm stand or a headstand, please go ahead and play with that at this time, right? Being nice to your lower back and being nice to your cervical spine. And if that's not for you, allowing yourself to come onto your back space and then all finding happy baby pose. From happy baby pose, maybe rock your way up into your boat pose. You don't have to stay for long if it's too much or if it was too jarring. Got yourself ready for Shavasana. We're not quite there, but allowing yourself then feet to the floor and legs extend out in front of you. So arms rise up for Paschimottanasana. Feel free to bend your knees. Maybe separate your feet, but maybe do yourself a favor and pulse just a couple of rounds. Inhale to your exhale as you're ready to land your arms. Go ahead and land your arms. Heart leads forward, right? So pretend that there's a back bend in every single fold. Finding your breath. And release, rise your way up. So for me, I've been shoulder standing for just like so long. I don't need any props, but if you would like shoulder stand with the blanket prop in the Iyengar tradition, remember you're lining it up with your back tops of shoulders from the space, right? It doesn't go underneath your head or your neck, right? So thinking about allowing yourself plow pose, if possible, you can stay there. to a shoulder stand, queen of all poses, to Matsyasana, fish pose, final heart opener. If none of that sounds good, please bring yourself into a bridge or a wheel practice at this time. So those of us moving on towards plow, shoulder stand, and your fish kicking up and over to your plow pose. Hands to your lower back, and then lift halfway up or all the way up to align your shoulder stand. And then maybe hold a little bit longer or back to Halasana Flow. Bringing the legs down close to the body, core strength. As the heels move down, lift your upper body up, rearrange elbows underneath you. Drop your head back. Feel free to land the crown of the head on the floor, not too much weight, or you can keep it a little bit hovered. Take the path of non-stress, right? And then align yourself for Shavasana. Some of us, another pose may call to us, right? An ending twist, some type of ending stretch. So if it's calling to you to do that, find your last little stretches or movements at this time. And props come out from underneath us if they're uncomfortable, right? So thinking about just drawing slowly here towards your Shavasana. Pose of no control. I'll always offer though, right, thinking about in extenuating circumstances, hard times. Remember, hard times are not always going to stay with us. You're more than welcome to keep controlling the breath, because sometimes the breath is the only thing, our practice is the only thing we feel like we have control over. So if you would like to, you can continue to control the breath. But if not, I'll urge you to let the breath go. Close the eyes, letting the eyes drop into the space behind them. Allow there to be a small space in between the teeth, allowing the jaw to relax. And then find your way in. Feel free to stay longer. Remembering what's really ours can never be taken away from us. Remembering to hold fast within our boundaries and admire and adore our imperfections. Deepen your inhale and exhale. As you deepen, begin to move through your fingers, through your wrists, through your toes and ankles. With your next inhale, arms rise up and overhead, stretching from your fingertips to your toes. And then once you're ready, please draw your knees in towards your chest. As you draw your knees in towards your chest, coming towards your comfortable seat within the next couple moments, next couple breaths. Once you find your comfortable seat, just kind of want to remind us we're all in this together. Yoga practice can help us go deep, but just in that sense of lightness, right? Besides the deeper takeaway for me personally, right? Maybe not you, of boundaries and admiring imperfections. Sometimes there is those lighter things where we're just reminded, I thought it was just heated, or a yoga practice, right? But even non-heated, I cannot eat within 3 hours of a yoga practice, right? Because it reminds me that even downward facing dog is an inversion. But anyways, thinking that yoga can have us move deep, but it also can remind us to stay light, to be light, and also to love ourselves, others. Be kind, right? So last couple of breaths together. As we inhale, arms rise up and overhead, palms, fingertips touch. Exhale, thumbs to heart center, chin to bow. Inhale, final breath in. And as we exhale, bowing forward and down. Namaste. The light and love in me honors the light and love in you. All right, until next time, hope you are well, keep smiling, and see you soon.